Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the CRKT Compano. There are two different versions. It's a compact knife designed by Mike Bond in Hawaii. If you're here to possibly grab this as an EDC, I think it's a great choice. There are some pros and cons, but we'll get into that later. But before we dive in, if you can give me a subscribe, it'll help the channel, and you'll also be able to see future videos if you're interested in similar things. Thanks a lot. So let's go ahead and unbox these. So this is the 9082. So you've got the knife in a plastic wrap and just the brochure inside. Let's put the box over here. So nothing special on the brochure. We'll put that aside, grab the knife. Beautiful bronze finish on this. Comes with the carabiner. And there you go. And you guys probably couldn't hear that, but it sort of stops. That's the first stop position and the second. I can easily see becoming an EDC type fidget for me. Just putting my keys over here, though I probably don't prefer that, but we'll see. I'll give it a try. Alright, second one is the 9083. Open it up. Same plastic wrapping. Similar brochure. We'll put this aside and take that out of the bag. This one comes in the aluminum, or yeah, sort of an aluminum blue finish. Carabiner, and once again that knife. Alright, so let's go into some specs. So they're both a slip joint folding knives, so it has a friction-based mechanism for opening and closing the blade and keeping it open and closed as well. It comes in a 1.5 inch high carbon steel blade available in two variants. So we've got the 9082, which is the bronze finish, and the 9083, which is the blue. Let's get that, there we go. Let's take a quick look at the bronze one again. And both of them have the stainless steel black stonewash handle. So the slight difference in the length for them. The blue one is slightly bigger than the bronze one. So we've got an overall length of 4.59 inches versus 4.69. The blade length is 1.42 inches versus 1.44 on the blue. And the thickness of the blade is 0.14 inches on the bronze and 0.15 on the blue. Both weigh the exact same at 2.2 ounces. And the steel that the blade comes in is a little bit different. So we've got the bronze one that comes in a 0.5% carbon content with a 15% chromium, and the blue comes in a 0.8% carbon content and a 13% chromium. So the bronze one comes in a drop point style blade. And the blue one comes in a sheep's foot. Now, one thing that I'm interested in finding out is if I'm able to switch the blades if I want the drop point with the blue or vice versa. But I think I'll do that later on once I try to do a little bit of maintenance on them down the line. Once again, both the handles are the same stainless steel, made in China, and this one comes in around $44 US, and at the point of the video, that is around $63 Canadian. Okay, so the Compano is a compact design, perfect for belts, backpacks, bags, keychains. I've heard a lot of people just putting their keychains in there, and though that's not how I like to hold my EDC, but if that's how you do it, it might be a good product for you. Now, the other thing that these knives are pretty good at is the size. So if we bring out my Avant, which is a full-size knife, you can tell the huge difference. Now, personally, I like carrying a full-size knife, but if that's too much for you, the Companos would probably be a good choice for you. Now, let's talk about some things that I like about them. Small yet functional. Once again, if that's what you're looking for your EDC, great product. It has a leaf spring carabiner to attach to anything you want. Now, let's close this so I don't hurt myself. You can easily open it left or right-handed. I like how they added those wings to it. And the other thing I like about it is this stone wash finish. I assume it's going to hide some scratches, and it'll also give it some character down the line as well. So, let's talk about some of the drawbacks. The biggest one that I could think of with this knife is that there is no blade lock. Now, the way that this knife is comfortable in my hand, you can open it. Pretty stiff since it is new, but I'm going to put my one finger through this, wrap my fingers around, and then my thumb has a natural positioning right there. Okay? Now, if I put the slightest pressure, you can see that the blade moves and wants to close. If I leave it here, no issues. But that's not as natural, it doesn't feel right if I leave it there. So if I do use a knife, it'll probably be like this, but I would have to keep in mind that it has a chance of closing. So that is probably the biggest drawback that I can find. Another issue down the line would probably be the maintenance. How easy is it to maintain this knife, because it is a friction-based knife? Will that hold over time? Will the friction increase or decrease? And if it does decrease, you have a hazard of it opening your pocket. But yeah, if you guys have had this for a long period of time, let me know what you like about it, don't like about it, if you would recommend it or not. Alright, so the other thing that I want to talk about, let's close this blade, is this carabiner. Now, having these wings is a plus so that you can open it with either hand, but if we look at the range of motion, it's pretty small. Now I can move it further down, but you'll be bending that piece of metal over there. So I don't know how efficient that is. Now, there's not that many things you can fit into that tiny space. Belt loop, straps, so on can easily fit, but if you're thinking about something bigger, I would not recommend this knife. But for me, I'm going to be putting it through some molly loops, through some loops in my backpack, maybe even a belt loop. Don't want to put my keychain in it, but we'll see. But for things like that, it is the perfect size. Now, talking about this carabiner, a lot of people have complained that it's not a locking carabiner or load rated, but I mean, for the size, my apologies, for the size, especially for the carabiner, I don't think that's a con. I would prefer a lock on the knife, but on the carabiner, I'm alright with it because it'll just be a lot easier to open it when you're taking it in and out of your, for example, your belt loop. Now, for example, this is a 3-stage locking carabiner. You have to do a lot more work to open it up, and if you're using this as an EDC, I don't feel like going through all that motion, and I'm also not going to be repelling from this. Anyway, so that's it for the Compano. Let me know what you guys think about it, if you want to add it to your collection or not. If you already have it, let us know what you think about it, if you would recommend it to us or not. Thanks a lot and have a good day.